Hey everyone, and welcome to the Beyond Life and Fitness podcast. I'm Cheryl Patton.
And I'm Megan Prince.
We started this podcast as a way to connect with more people who are struggling to fit it all in. The workouts, the food, kids, work, and relationships.
We know that we're not perfect, but we hope that through our struggles and our mistakes and our failures and our successes that we can help more people through their challenges and be successful. So if you want some tips and tricks to help you along your journey to be the best version of yourself, then this is it.
Today we thought we would talk about limiting beliefs because we both hear different stories that clients tell us as to why they don't believe that they can lose weight or transform their body or maybe get that promotion at work. For some reason they have a story in their head that's just pretty much telling them that they don't deserve it or that they're not worth it. And so really if you want to tackle these limiting beliefs, there is a lot of inner work that needs to happen, but you do need to pretty much expose them, become aware of them, acknowledge them so that you can start rewriting that script and changing that whole thought process of that you're not deserving or that you're not worth whatever it is that you are after, whether it's health and fitness, whether it's career-wise, whether it's relationship-wise. It all applies across the board.
Yeah, because your thoughts become your reality, right?
Yep.
And so whatever you think is your reality. That's your thoughts control so much of the hormones that are released. I saw a reel the other day or a thing that said people that believe they're building muscle in the gym will actually build more muscle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because if you're in the gym and you're sending the wrong signals because you're in this battle kind of with your mind, right? Your mind is saying something, but you want your body to do something else and you're not aligned with what you're doing, right? So I think your body knows, right? Your body knows when you're not aligned with what you're doing or what you believe in or what you feel.
Yeah.
And you can't, as much as you're I need this to work or I want to do this and you're not aligned with this. So it's the same thing for us, right? When we go and train for a competition, to step on stage, I took 6 years off because you know what? I just was not feeling it. Mm-hmm. And when they're not feeling something, you can't go and get up to the gym, crush it every single day if you're not feeling it, right? You really have to
there needs to be alignment and you can't will it to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So, we both know people that they want something so badly that they're trying so hard to make it happen. Mm-hmm. They're trying to just, like I said, will it in their mind to happen. Mm-hmm. But if there are other aspects in their life that are not lining up with that particular goal, no matter how much you try and will it to happen, it's not gonna go.
Yeah.
So again, like you said, there's this disconnect between what you're thinking and saying to yourself and what you're thinking to yourself is your perception of reality. That's what's happening. So until you start changing that perception within your mind and how you talk to yourself, how you see the world, your reality won't change. Mm-hmm. It will stay as is.
And I mean, as a homeschooling mom, I have to change my mindset sometimes so much because I can get into this negative spiral of I hate this so much because it's so hard. Yeah. And some days you just struggle so much that I have to wake up and be okay, I get this time with my kids. I get to be with them. I get to teach them. It's we've both posted about it before, rather than I have to, I get to. But some days it just feels like some days it feels like I have to go and do this. But you and me have also had injuries before, right? Where you don't get to go to the gym and you're like, if only this injury just heals and I can go back to the gym and I'm going to love it. I'm going to appreciate it. And then months go by, months go by, months go by. And then you're like back to that, like, oh, I have to go to the gym. Meanwhile, a couple months before that, you were like,
you're like begging to get there.
Or like even having babies, like people are like, I want to have a baby, and I miscarried with mine, and you want to have a baby, and then you get the babies, and you're like, what the crap? This is like, work. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just wanted the cute baby and all, Yeah. So it's like, you have to change. You ask for something, like you ask for a baby, you ask for the injury to go away, you ask for these things, and then again, like those negative things come in, if it's from our childhood that somebody said something to us, or if it's like, or if it's, most of the time it's somebody had said something to you, right?
100%.
You're like, oh, I guess I could never do that.
Yeah.
And then you see some people plow through that and be like, oh, you said I couldn't? I'm going to rise above it.
Exactly.
So it's like, but then there's times for me too where I'm like, okay, I'll rise above it. And they get to this certain point, I'm like,
fear kicks in.
Fear kicks in, or doubt kicks in, and you're like, oh God, I'm just going to sabotage this whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like this whole cycle of like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then it's like for our clients, they're 4 weeks in, I'm seeing results. And I literally have to say, or they don't see results.
Yeah.
And I literally have to say, please don't give up, because I just need you to just keep going forward, even if you're not getting what you want right now.
Yeah.
Like you have to continually.
And it's a hard conversation.
It's a really hard conversation.
So, and I've, when people send food logs in and you're kind of, you're basically guesstimating to the best of your ability where their calories are sitting, where their macros are coming from.
Yeah.
And there are some that come through that are sitting at 1,300 calories. And I'm like, okay, we cannot go low. We have got to go up.
Yeah.
And that's a scary conversation for a lot of people. And, especially for women, that a lot of us we've been taught, we've been shown, we've been told that, less is more, right? In terms of your food, like move more, try to get as small as you can. And so I know a lot of one thing that I'll try and get out there as much as I can, like chase the strong, not the skinny. Like don't try to be as small as you can, try to get as strong as you can, right? I want you to live for as independently for as long as humanly possible. In order for you to do that, we got to get some good muscle on your body frame.
I mean, I posted something a while ago that said, what if you don't focus on fat loss for once? What if your goal isn't fat loss? Every woman that comes to me wants to lose weight. Fat loss. And I'm like, okay, I get that you want to get there eventually, and that's fine. But there's so many steps before that we have to like address. Yeah. And the limiting beliefs for sure are the things that are gonna hold you back. Like I can't at menopause, big one, because I'm 43. Yeah. Menopause is ruining me. And I'm like, this is the thing. It doesn't have to ruin you. Menopause isn't the problem. No. The problem is that we think we're in menopause and we're gonna gain weight, and we think we're in menopause and our bodies are changing, and right there already, we're already saying to our body, like, you're going to change, you're going to get fat, I'm going to have... Yeah. Yes. And nothing's even changed. Like, I remember people saying to me, oh, after 40, you'll see it. You'll see the changes. After 40 for me, everything is downhill. And I'm like, okay, prove it to me. And then I just turned 43. Wait till I'm 50. And I'm going to say, like, the same thing. Like, I'm not going to let a number determine how I choose to live, or to
your quality of life,
to set me back on goal, to say I just turned 50, so screw goals and scrolls. How about say, like, I'm 50, I now have no kids, I'm an empty nester, maybe retired, maybe part-time work now, whatever you have more time. Like, invest in yourself. Like, show people that after 50 you can 1,000% change. There's no, it's never too late.
Muscle on at any age, if you can get your nutrition
to line up
with that. And I just had a thought, and it's And like when people say, oh, like once, oh, now that I'm 40 or now that I'm in menopause or now that I'm in perimenopause, like that is another limiting belief.
Huge.
That you don't deserve to still have a lean, strong body in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s when that is 100% doable and possible.
If we reduce stress, eat properly, and try to build muscle, you probably will reduce a lot of the symptoms and things of menopause.
100%.
Like I'm hoping, it
doesn't get rid of it. It smooths them out.
Yeah. But also I think about the same thing as going through puberty when the girls get their periods. We don't do like a million different things when we're going through puberty, really. Like we just go through it. Yeah. Like it's part of life. So I'm like, why wouldn't I just choose during this part of life to be like, you want to give me a challenge? I'm going to rise up and I'm going to show you that you are not going to get me when I'm 43 or 50. Yeah. And then I still want to rise above for myself, for my mental health, for my longevity, for my bones, for my joints, for and that's my grandchildren. You're going to be a grandma soon.
I know.
And you want to be able to hold her.
Him
for a long period of time where you're like, not saying like my back hurts or grandma can't get down on the ground with you to play. Yeah. You're going to be like, no, I'm getting down there with you.
Yeah. 100%. Right? And that's about taking ownership for your current level of health, happiness, your success versus this, playing the self-blame, self-pity game. Right? So if you're able to take ownership of, where you are at, again, it can be health, it can be relationship, it could be career-wise, right? You have decisions and choices that you can make to steer the ship in a different direction that you want it to go versus what life or somebody else's or society is dictating or telling you to go.
And sometimes that's hard, right? Because society tells us things, again, like be smaller as women, or you need to lose weight, or you need to not be bulky, or all these kind of things. And I'm like, just do what you want to do and know that
it's going to be hard.
I know. I love when the people say, like, after I had babies, like, oh, wow, you really bounced back. And I'm like, if only you knew, you know my life. You know how crazy it is. And my friend was walking with me the other day and she's like, I can't get it together. Like, I see you all the time, like, getting to the gym and you're doing so good and all this stuff. And I'm like, it is just a non-negotiable. It is not something that I negotiate in my life. It is something that I know for me, 100%, that if I don't work out, my mental health for me goes down the drain. And some people cannot.
Totally.
Right?
And I'm the same way. And I do find around big holiday times of year, I find it's people's commitment to moving their bodies and eating well, that non-negotiable becomes very much a negotiable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's the thing. That's why I just did that 6-week Christmas Crusher program. Because I was like, guys, if we can go through Christmas with some pretty good habits.
Yes.
Not gain weight.
Yes.
Add in some workouts.
Yes.
Like you're going to be better off than when you just said for the next 8 weeks, I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah.
That's going to come into the new year and you're going to have to set New Year's resolution goals, which we know how that goes. What if you go into the new year, you don't have to set them because you've already
you've established those habits.
Established some really good habits for yourself, right? So that you don't have to.
And just changing your whole mindset around it, that it's not an all or nothing scenario.
It's for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Forever.
And when you go through any type of a holiday, any type of a trip, any type of weekend away, it's not always about deficit.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be good to just maintain and cruise. And actually, we need to learn how to maintain and cruise for a little bit.
For a little while.
Right? It's your body likes homeostasis. So if you're constantly trying to push it down into a deficit, it does become a time where you need to let it hang out and plateau for a little bit. Or, scary as this is for a lot of people, eat more and go into a surplus.
Yeah. I think that that's like super crucial, right? Especially like, why not do it around the holidays? Why not do it?
Totally.
Yeah, well, you're
Honestly, I think the busier
there's food
you are,
around you.
the more focused you should be. The more I find the busier you are, the more focused you tend to get on getting something done.
But everybody has those things, right, in their life that they're like, I can't do it because of this, and I can't do it because of this.
Yep.
And I just am like, I posted a thing the other day. If I don't do this for myself, everybody loses out. Because then I become this person that like nobody wants to be around because I'm not taking care of myself. We always talk about put the oxygen mask on first. Yeah. Well, as moms, okay, in all reality, we can't really do that. We always just take care of everybody, and I just try to fit it in whenever I can, right? So it's like I'm still taking care of myself to the best of my ability right now. Yeah. But it's not what I would what my picturesque like life would look like to fit this in. Yeah. But I'm like, it's either that or not do it. Yeah. And I'm like, you have to, my life isn't, you and me aren't doing anything special. No. Like anything magical that anybody else in the entire world.
We do the same shit day in and day out.
Yeah. It's the most minuscule things. Yeah. That are going to make the changes, and they suck. Like post competition, I'm 4 weeks now, and I'm like, oh shit, I've been doing so bad on my water. And like a week out from my show, I'm drinking like 10 liters of water. I'm doing great. And now I'm just like, the little things for me, I'm like, oh gosh, like when the little habits start going, that's when like things start creeping in, right? So I think nobody's life is
we all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Everybody's struggling with something. Yeah. Right? Yep. And where are your priorities going to be? If it's a 20-minute workout 3 times a week, it's better than doing nothing. And 100%. You know what? And we all have to eat.
We do.
So if you're choosing to eat, why not
choose something that's better, that's going to serve you, make you feel better?
And I think that for us, when we're coaching people, giving people plans and meal plans to follow, like most of them are like, oh my God, thank you so much, because I'm so busy. I can't, because I'll be starving. It's lunchtime. I go to the kitchen and I'm like, I don't, like, if you don't have a nutrition background, I don't even know what to eat. I don't even know where to start. Like, I just eat something because I don't know. Yep. But they have that plan in place that says, here's what to eat. And you're like, okay, it's actually easier to know what that you're eating rather than like waking up in the morning and throwing caution to the wind and then hoping that you hit
your protein targets. Yeah. Or your water target.
Or anything. You can't. You can't. Like, I can't stress it enough that there has to be like a plan in action. If you don't have a plan, you can't make any progress. No. You can't. Like, it's just going to be impossible. You'll be running.
It's the same with people who go to the gym and they just do the same weights, the same little, machine circuit. And you see them like year after year after year and nothing's changed. Mm-hmm. They look exactly the same. Yeah. And that's just because they haven't done anything different to cause change to happen.
Yeah. So if you want change to happen, then you have to like make changes. So that means
you have to be okay stepping into something that seems really scary and uncomfortable and that you think you might fail at. Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, you use a coach, I use a coach, people use us as coaches because we all need somebody to talk us off the ledge. Yeah. Especially when we feel something is not working and that we are failing.
Are you going to be accountable to yourself when you've had this huge, crazy, busy, long day and you're like, screw that. Why do I have to take my measurements? Why do I have to take anything? I don't even care. Yeah. Right. And I think the biggest win, I had a client message me and she's like, last weekend, everything fell apart in my life. Mm. And I literally stayed on plan. And I was like, oh my God, now you've hit the golden buzzer. Yeah. Like, because if you can go through when everything's stressful and when everything's crazy and you can stick to it, oh my gosh, you're like miles ahead of everybody else, because the second something doesn't go our way, it's easy to just like let those little tiny things go.
Well, and just go back to something that's easy and or comfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll just get up and just do. Yeah. Cause like who wants to, like I posted last week, who wants to get up at 6 a.m. in the freezing cold in the snow to go to the gym and work out.
I'm so grateful for my home gym.
Like, what crazy person does that?
Yeah.
Like, it's insane and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy,
No,
right?
it's not easy. It's so much easier when it's warm. You don't have to put on boots, a coat, hat, or mitts. Right? For sure. That's definitely a lot easier.
But if we stay in our comfort zone, nothing's ever going to change. So you're going to have to get out of that. Like, even for clients, I can't work out, or I can't, like, I don't have time. But they're at work for 12 or 13 hours because they're putting in overtime. They're doing this. Leave the job and go. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's like your business. I get that totally. But like, there has to be a time.
There's always a half an hour somewhere.
There has to. And if not,
it's amazing what you can do with body weight.
Do you want to live that life? If that's your life, that you don't have half an hour to yourself, then that also means that something has to change, right?
Yeah.
Because
you're going to burn out.
Yeah, you can't get to that point where you don't have time to take care of yourself. And I think, there's so many limiting beliefs. Like, I can't do this at this age. Menopause is going to break me. I am too busy with my kids. I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
Work's too busy.
Yeah. The list is endless as to the reasons as to why you feel you can't make a change.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be like health and fitness related.
No.
It can be literally related to your career. It can be related to your relationships. It can tie into anything.
And these aren't like easy things, because fitness and nutrition and all that kind of stuff, I got it down pat. The other stuff, the limiting beliefs that are holding me back in other parts of my life are huge.
Absolutely.
So it's not like we're saying these things are easy. And
there's a lot of work. It's a lot of work involved. A lot of internal work sometimes.
Yes, and we've figured out the fitness side of it.
Yeah.
So we're
good
able
with
to
that.
help you get to the fitness side of things. But if we go to like love, relationships,
we're kind of a little bit outside our wheelhouse a little bit.
Yeah. Then don't ask me, because like there's so many limiting beliefs holding back other parts of my life.
Yeah.
So I get it, because I still struggle with limiting beliefs on
We all do.
But I think when it comes to fitness, you can do it at any age. There's nothing really that will ever hold you back from that if you set your mind to it and you
make this decision and the choice to make that change.
And just keep showing up even when you don't want to.
Yeah. That's half the battle.
Yeah.
Half the battle.
Yeah. It's like the mothering thing. It's like you just have to keep showing up every day. I just have to, they never go away.
Yeah.
They're always here. Right? And again, like.
And even when they do move out, they still need you.
They still call you, and they're still calling you. And it's like, it's just changing that mindset. And you've probably seen it with your kids too, as we like finish this one. But you can either wake up in a good mood and then your kids have a great day.
Yeah.
Or you wake up in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Which, yes, it totally happens. And then the day is shit.
Yeah.
Because
and I must tell you, it took me 2 kids to figure that out. The third one has had a much better version.
I know. Because I faked it when I had to for the third. I'm like, oh yeah, honey. Because I know everything's going to fall apart if I didn't change my mindset that morning to say, okay.
Yeah.
She's waking up at 5 a.m. because she's 2 and she wants to play Barbies. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to, like, I can't. But I wanted this baby, and she's beautiful and she's innocent, right? So it's the same thing. Like, wake up and be like, I get to do this for my body. I get to move my body. And some days it's not going to be how you want to, because it might be a shitty workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you still like,
you still showed up.
I just showed up. And some of those days, like this morning, I thought I'm going to be horrible. I showed up and I was like amazing. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? You just keep.
You just keep going, and you just keep working on those stories that you tell yourself, the script that runs through your head, how you talk to yourself, those, excuses, those limiting beliefs that you tell yourself as to why you cannot take that next step forward in the direction that deep down you want to go into. Right? So it's just taking the time to kind of sit sometimes with some uncomfortable feelings, some uncomfortable, and then having a coach in your corner, or sometimes it's a psychiatrist in your corner to help you navigate through those limiting beliefs or blocks that you have.
Because I don't know if you're close to competition or whatever, and you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, oh my God, I don't look good. I should not be stepping on stage. I look horrible. This isn't good. And then and then in 2 minutes, I can flip my brain and say, no, Meg, you got this. You're 43. You're the best shape ever. You're doing really good. And then I kill my next set of squats. But if I go into my set of squats thinking, holy crap, you have a roll there or this, you know what I mean?
This is why I don't have mirrors in my studio.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. I've learned when I hear these negative thoughts into my head to literally change them to the opposite and be like, no, Meg, you got this. And then my whole aura about everything changes. The second that I change my thoughts, like, oh my God, I hate homeschooling. Oh my God, I love this. I get to be with my kids. I literally have to like condition myself.
Catch yourself in the moment, flip the words.
Yeah. Because I think that thing I had said a while ago is like, did you have a bad thought for 5 minutes that ruined your entire day? Because it just snowballs. Or have that thought and then be like, it's not true.
Yep.
It's really hard to do. I'm not saying it's easy.
It's very hard to do. Very hard to do. Yeah. So, like we said, as it comes to like these limiting beliefs and the stories that we tell ourselves that literally are holding us back and blocking us from, the life that you want to live or the health that you want to have, it all boils down to just putting in the time, putting in the work, getting somebody in your corner that's going to help coach or navigate you through those blockages so that you can become the best version of yourself.
Thanks everybody for listening today, and we truly appreciate you. And let us know what your biggest takeaway was today, and if you have any questions you want answered on the podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast to automatically receive your episodes and to help us reach more listeners. We would love to connect with you on our socials, either Facebook or Instagram, with links in the show notes. Till next time, keep taking those small steps towards your best life.